Over the years, social content has changed. Where it was just a photo or a short video in the beginning, now I see more cinematic looking content. Even though the influencers themselves aren't even filmmakers. Because sometimes it's just a simple vlog, yet it has that cinematic look. So why is that? What is it that makes it even possible for those simple vloggers, influencers to get that cinematic look? Maybe it's the camera or the lens that's been used. Or is it the type of lighting? Maybe the soundtrack, or perhaps the color grading. So I thought, let's recreate some content, because then, while doing it, I'll probably discover it by myself. But while doing so, it didn't take long for me to already pinpoint that secret ingredient. In fact, I think it's the Holy Grail for instant looking cinema footage. And I noticed that I already experienced it twice in the past. The first time was back then in New York when I was doing street style photography. Shooting there in the streets was so easy. Every shot that I took looked great. Because of the great architecture, the busy streets, of course the yellow cabs, skyscrapers, nice alleys, and of course those great street style. It's like shooting on a film set. The second time was in Tokyo, but this time with cinematography. And before you go,
of course Tokyo is unique, it's not the typical city.
Yes, but I shot amazing cinematic looking footage in simple residential neighborhoods. Nothing special, just shooting the streets, nice alleys with only ambient lighting. And that's all due to the fact that even these residential neighborhoods are visually stunning. Of course, there are more factors, ingredients needed to make true cinema. But this factor kinda makes your footage almost instantly cinematic. You can probably guess it by now, that Holy Grail that I'm speaking of is location. And I'm probably being very blunt when saying that a lot of influencers wouldn't have that cinematic looking feed if it weren't for the place that they live or travel in. They could just step outside and shoot some nice B-roll or photos. Well, if I would do that, it will be boring. Forget that, it will be terrible to watch. Since I'm living in a small city, it feels more like a village. And all you see is residential neighborhoods without any interesting buildings or signs in the background to fill the frame. Here in the Netherlands, I really have to work and search for it. Whereas those influencers have nice streets, crowd, traffic, skyscrapers, interesting architecture, great looking alleys, layered backgrounds and so on. Not to mention nice street signs. So yes, locations. They are very tempting, very easy to use for your photos and your videos. Especially with the increased global traveling nowadays. You see it more and more. And no skill needed. But locations, the background, they should add value to your storytelling. It has the power to create worlds. Otherwise it's just a frame of a nice location. The typical Insta pic. So keep in mind, this Holy Grail I'm talking about only applies to giving that cinematic look. Still, it ain't cinematography. But that's something for another video.